Alaric Jackson is back at practice for the Rams. You might be surprised to learn who the best compensated athlete is at UCLA. And the Dodgers have added 2 slap hitters. One of them is named Mookie. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it's August 26, 2025. By the time I am done making this clip, I'm going to be on my way to the airport and going home. I totally can't wait. But we are going to take care of business. If you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 7, Cincinnati 0. Once again, sole possession of first place, as if there was any doubt. And the Dodger magic number is down to 30. Meanwhile, today, Cincinnati's at the Dodgers at 7 o'clock, and Phoenix is in town to play the Sparks at 7 o'clock. So, since I have a plane to catch, what do you say we get to the news? Rams left tackle Alaric Jackson has apparently bid a fond farewell to his blood clots and will join the team for practice starting next week. Now, to be frank, this is almost as big a relief as it was seeing Matthew Stafford in practice. The Rams did sign DJ Humphries as a contingency plan, but let's be honest. When that guy was with the Chiefs, he rode the bench while Kansas City made a Super Bowl run. So that's not exactly a top flight answer. We do not know if Jackson will be available for the season opener. Sean McVay said that there is a plan in place, whatever the hell that means. And of course, it's a big day across the NFL. The deadline to cut rosters down to the proper size is 1 p.m. today. And the Rams made a cut that had all the bloggers up in arms, all of their flubbery little adipose tissue-filled arms. Adipose tissue instead of muscle. Oh my God, the shock. 2024 fifth-round pick Brennan Jackson lost his job. Oh my God, said the bloggers. What were you thinking? He had the second most sacks of anybody in preseason. Look, no disrespect to Jackson. He's probably going to get a job somewhere else. This is more to disrespect anybody who thinks this is a loss. Preseason sacks, that matters now. Going up against UFL offensive linemen is going to be a difference maker. Your 5th-round pick? Really? Do you realize who is on the Rams' defensive line? You short attention span having idiots. You tell me who you want to cut in order to keep Brennan Jackson. Would you really like to cut Jared Verse? Why? Because he couldn't hang with Aaron Donald in the weight room? The only thing you guys curl is Twinkies into your face. Stop it. I hope the dude lands on his feet. The Rams are set on the pass rush. Stop it. Because let's be honest, Verse still remembers the lessons of that fateful workout with Aaron Donald. And he also took a little bit in the sense that he realized he and Donald are kindred spirits. Apparently, neither one of them can shut up. Said Verse, quote, he's saying it loud and proud. He was talking like me. I was like, damn, okay, I guess there's levels to this, unquote. Now, this matters because Verse, as a rookie, kind of acted a little bit like a heel in pro wrestling. Never shuts up. He wants the smoke from the crowd. You remember about how he talked down Philadelphia fans and then went in and pressured Eagles quarterbacks 4 times and got 2 sacks. He has a desire for the smoke, but he also knows he needs to back it up. Now, the Rams' point of view, They like to keep positive energy in practice. They were cool once Verse fine-tuned his act a little bit. You might remember Sean McVay had to scold him for clowning his teammates too much. But now, according to defensive line mate Braden Fisk, quote, he does a good job at aiming it toward the other team. I'm just proud of how he's been able to adapt to this level. He's done some good things. He knows how to take care of it. Just the way he talks, he builds that confidence within our group. Just the energy brings, it's a game changer for us. He just sets sparks, and you have to love him, unquote. And that wasn't the only guy saying it. Added Rams newcomer and Verse's neighbor in the clubhouse, Poona Ford, quote, I'm thinking like, damn, they put the loudest person in the locker room next to the quietest person in the locker room. But he for sure backs it up. And that's what you want. You need guys like him on the team, unquote. So yeah, we got a lot of Rams stuff to talk about. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments thread. Recently, we were talking about how USC made a number of adjustments to accommodate the football team in this ever-changing world of NIL. I was going even further, stuff that I didn't bring to the broadcast. I was reading stories about how colleges break down the NIL money. For example, out of the entire pot of money, like 75% of it is going to go to football. They started making plans like that because there were guardrails being put on it by this House settlement out in Washington, D.C. And then ESPN broke it down even further. How much money would you pay individual positions on a football team? For example, in football, a quarterback and edge rusher gets a lion's share of the pie. But would it surprise you to know that UCLA is paying point guard Donovan Dent more than quarterback Nico Iamaleava? Yeah, it's not that close either. Dent is pulling in about $1 million more because he may be the best dang point guard Mick Cronin has ever seen. Quote, he changes the world for your team offensively. You go into every game knowing that you have a guy that can just dominate on the offensive end. My challenge to him is consistency, work ethic, practice habits, the things I think will get him to the NBA. He definitely changes the world when you have one of the best point guards in the country, unquote. Now, you might be sitting there saying, that is still very strange. Paying a basketball player more than what you would for a football team. But you know something? You haven't heard Deshaun Foster complain about it either. So there may be something to the Bruins' madness. For your first place LA Dodgers, Kike Hernandez did in fact return last night after 7 weeks on the injured list. He didn't get into the game, though. To make room, Buddy Kennedy was designated for assignment. But that's not the only slappy that will soon be in the Dodger lineup. Ever since Mookie Betts said, quote, my season's kind of over, he's hit .348. Now, he said a difference in his approach is that he previously tried way too hard to generate power. The Dodgers are typically one of the leaders in Major League Baseball in home runs. Now, according to Betts, quote, I'm slapping some singles around. Still not normal, but anything is better than what I was doing, unquote. We mentioned the Rams cut down and how the deadline is today. The Chargers made a few moves. As predicted here a day or so ago, the Chargers cut Brendan Rice, former USC wide receiver, and the son of another NFL wide receiver that you may have heard of. But I have a question, and it's an open question. I'm not trying to prove a point. I bring this up because I am perfectly willing to reconsider my opinions. And if you're a Chargers fan, this is for you. CBSSports.com graded every team's preseason and gave the Bolts a B. If only Rashawn Slater's knee didn't explode like the Death Star, it would have been an A. And they also reasoned Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, they were impressive at receiver, so the Bolts theoretically resolved their receiver issues. And I don't buy it. I'm not into giving teams grades, right? If I did, I wouldn't give the Chargers an F. But I invite you to tell me where I'm wrong if you're a Chargers fan. No snark, let me know. The reason I think it's not a good camp, one, Slater, obviously, that totally weakens your offensive line, which, by the way, was already suspect. Two, Jim Harbaugh continues to get dragged over those Michigan scandals. And what if the NFL actually decides to say, you know what? You're out for a few games. Three, starting linebacker Denzel Perryman got arrested. And the fourth reason, I think CBS overrated both Harris and Lambert-Smith. I'm not saying they sucked. I'm saying they had one good game each, maybe, out of 4 preseason games, maybe 1.5 good games. An A camp to me is drama-free, getting everybody on the same page, solving all your problems, getting in the best possible position for the season. I don't think the Chargers did that. Now, again, feel free to tell me where I'm mistaken. I'm not saying I know I'm right. I just believe I'm right. There was drama in this camp. There were problems created in this camp. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about what you think of either the Rams or the Chargers now that training camp is in the rearview mirror. And for that matter, does Donovan Dent deserve the bag more than Nico Iamaleava? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.